your mother raised you, but what are the lessons that I learned or you learned? Like a lot of us was raised like in female dominated households or with our moms by themselves with a couple of brothers or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever, you know. Like, like the reason why like a lot of certain things in my life to slide because your mother teaches you to like let things like slide to get over the situation. I'm saying to get through it instead of taking accountability and doing something about it. You know what I'm saying? My mom told me like when I got into like certain situations or whatever, my parent or mother would be like, "Hey, just don't pay them no mind." You know what I'm saying? Because I remember like I got in a situation at school like somebody done something I didn't like, so I put my hands on him. I was the first one to attack him, and you know what I'm saying, and I got mad because I didn't like it, but it didn't. Um, and just let it slide because to mothers, what they teach you is to grieve over something. They don't teach you how to be brief, like how your father would teach you to be brief and stand up, like be direct. Like women, they don't really teach you that. They teach you just get over it, ignore it, and be dismissive. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was like a reckless kid, man. I don't care who you are. I was just gonna spaz out, like, you know what I'm saying? I guess like mothers, they try to like neuter you so you don't like be crazy. I get it. They don't want us to like, act up and be wild, you know. Like, cause like mothers, like they think they're doing a good job by like raising their sons or like protecting them so they don't act crazy. You know what I'm saying? Become a freaking beast. You know what I'm saying? But you're kind of coddling your son, like you're buying him things, video games, and this so he could just chill and stay in the house. But he's not gonna learn how to like interact properly. That's why you got a generation of males who are just so like don't know he even how to interact, or you are just so like underdeveloped because a lot of them were raised by women. Like I'm not saying it's the fault. That's just how society made them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if our mothers taught us lessons in the harsh truth, we would go about it the right way and assess things. But they taught us to like be more dismissive and submissive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there are guys who are like gang bangers and do that, but that's like a small percent of those guys. That's another, select of guys. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about guys. A lot of guys they tend to be weak and what I'm saying and submissive because they were kind of taught that because it's the right thing to do. But it just teaches you to be nice. I'm not saying be an a hole, but you gotta know they don't teach you how to have boundaries and how to protect yourself in your image as a guy. So now when you do something that you have to do, now you're labeled as bad, and now you're scared to look a certain way. They don't teach you how to take risk, especially the right risk or something that's gonna help you. If you do, it's gonna lead you in jail, like protecting a random lady that got beat by her whatever type of boyfriend because of whatever because you're honor you're a man because you protected a random person, but they didn't teach you how to correctly like assess situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially your like mom. Obviously, I get it. They tried their hardest, but I wish they just told us the truth about reality. So it could save us a lot of headaches. You know what I'm saying? Especially dealing with like women themselves. Like, so we don't got to get heartbreaking to save us a lot of times. A lot of this stuff held us back. You wonder why a lot of guys don't want to hear the truth. When they hear it, they get mad or they just get so hyper emotional about it because that's how they were raised to be more dismissive and more in denial because their mothers like hid the truth from them instead of telling it what it is or telling them, hey, bro, this is not really your father, bro, this and that. Some things happen and blah, blah, blah. Mothers hid the truth of their son because they thought they sons was going to crash out and do something crazy. But a lot of times that's not even the case. Just tell us the truth. and maybe we'll do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of mothers kept us locked in the house, using our phones and not doing anything. And you're looking at mentors on the internet. There's no mentors on the internet. These people are grifters, man. They want your money, bro. They don't care about you, bro. These are predators, bro. You should never look for mentors on the internet, bro. Never. And that's why you have a lot of guys trying to be alpha males and this. But these guys will never be an alpha male. Never. Like, because they wasn't taught how to be a man. And this is freaking sad. I saw a video of a man. They went to this camp. Man, they were abusing those guys. Like, they thought that doing a bunch of rigorous things and lifting heavy things and getting abused and yelled at. I'm like, this is not. And they paid like 18,000 for the camp so they could feel like to be a man. But I'm like, this is crazy. This is abused. A lot of you guys think taking bullshit and being disrespected is what being a man is. No, you're being abused. That's gonna mess up your self-esteem, man. You know, a lot of guys play basketball, they box, and they think that's what being a man is. That's not being no damn man. Like, you're hurting, you're doing violence. Like, a lot of guys weren't taught correctly, or they wasn't taught to use violence in the right way to protect themselves. Say a guy has a girlfriend or wife and somebody breaks in, he don't know how to use a gun or whatever. Like, he doesn't know how to like lock the doors, or he doesn't know how to put the house a certain way. Now is like their whole life is on the line. Like, a lot of guys wasn't taught correctly. That's why they're lacking. A lot of guys have anxiety because they know that they're not properly suited and adjusted. You know, that's how your brain is. It's gonna like has mechanisms to like protect you or adapt in certain situations, whereabout of what comes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys don't have it. You know, your mother didn't cheat you. I wish they taught us the truth and we would correctly assess it. But I guess they didn't want to hurt you or whatever, make you go against them. But it's like, that's not even really going to happen. We're going to have some mercy because it's our mother. We're taught to love our mothers and care for what we said. So if we already have mercy for our moms, then our dads, it's like, if you tell us the truth, how bad is going to make you go, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't teach us that. And it's kind of sad, you know, that they didn't teach us that. You know, you wonder why like a lot of men, especially black men, don't get along because the way they had the mindset is like a female. It's like judgmental. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like how women are, a lot of them just be judgmental. Especially the old women that be at church, they be talking crap. That's the same type of mindset they doing. It's like, especially that type of mindset being judgmental and overcritical if a guy does. That's feminine, bro. Because a lot of guys will be on here and they'll be overcritical of what a guy does and bees and be nosy. That's a feminine trait. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys are raised by women. I was. You know what I'm saying? I did have two parents and they split up on whatever reason, but it's not like it was ever like fully there. You know what I'm saying? There was some issues and then they split up. This was years ago. I would say around 2008. You know, I don't really have my parents too long. So it was a back and forth between my mom and my dad and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just not right. You know, I live with my stepmom and my dad, and then dad wouldn't really be there a lot. So you're kind of raised by like women and stuff. You know, you wonder why guys don't know how to like talk to women or even talk to men. Like, ask the man, bro, I need help with this, or they're too prideful. Is because they're raised incorrectly. And this is what the system has done. You know, it's broke men apart. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is what the system has trained your mom to do. You know, and now we're at the age where a lot of guys are talking about it and we're looking for solutions. Because what we was taught was backwards, man. You know? You know, I'm not saying to blame her. She just doing what she had to do, but it didn't help you. You know, a lot of guys looking for mentors or certain guys to be cool with so they can feel that sense of kinship around men. And then it backfires. The guy's a snake or he does something really bad to them. You know what I'm saying? Betrays them. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to really find a lot of solid guys out here, you know, especially in this country, because this country is not right. You know, it's filled with grimy and weird people just the way it is. And it's just not right. You're not going to find a lot of solid people there. So at least just be honest with yourself. That's why a lot of guys are very negative and they fall into certain ideologies because the world is a certain way. I'm not saying it'll be in a belief system. I'm not saying it's all the way too bad, but it's just how this world is. The way I'm crazy or this, like you're doing too much, like it's out of your control. But I'm just doing that. I'm just thinking this a way I think so I can correctly just move in this world so I don't like swift away to bad habits. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause a lot of guys finding just layers of just the rabbit holes of things because they just wasn't taught the things and they feel like they got to learn more information, more. Maybe if our mothers told us the truth and had certain things, you know, helped us, guide us, put us around certain people who were in our benefit, but that didn't happen. Let's be honest, a lot of them were just looking for a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was meant for a social image. You know, they didn't really care like that. You know, you know, or they'll try to take pictures like, oh, look at this happy family while you're freaking miserable on the inside. The poor born in you has lost itself. You know what I'm saying? The balloon has been popped. You know, they teach you how to keep an image. Like, especially women, like, oh, take pictures or do this. So you can look like a happy family, a happy Christian family, when it's just dysfunction. It's bull crap. You know what I'm saying? It's misery. You know, that's what they tell you to do. Take pictures or do this. And they teach you how to impress people, especially people who don't care about you. When you live in that mentality, it's going to make you a pushover. People who don't like you, and then you do more than the person does, and then they get envious of you, and then they set you up. You know what I'm saying? So I wish our mothers taught us correctly, but they didn't know any better. But the thing is, they had a leeway from the system. They had certain grants or benefits or whatever, or certain people. They could have just put us in certain rooms, but they just out of their own selfishness or inadequacy or them being ignorant, they just taught us wrong, I guess. They didn't know any better. So, yeah, anyways, I'm out, y'all. Take you for tapping in with us. Like and subscribe.